Welcome to my technical presentation on blockchain. My name is Jack Martin. Here we go. So where did blockchain come from? Blockchain made its debut back in 2008 with the release of Bitcoin, thanks to Satoshi Nakamoto. It started as Bitcoin and is now today being applied in many different scenarios, from land title registration, identity management, smart contracts, etc. The list goes on and on for where blockchain is being applied. What is blockchain? In its simplest terms, it is distributed, decentralized public ledger, which is short and sweet, but means very little to those who do not know. And to me, I did not know what that meant in the very beginning. So it means a transparent and public way of keeping records that is resistant to change and is decentralized, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So blockchain is also, I believe, the future of the internet and is going to lead the next generation of apps and digital presence, which will also be explained later on. So the basics of blockchain is largely complex. Getting down to the nitty-gritty of it is very complicated and very tedious, but blockchain sits on three pillars that are much easier to understand, and with that understanding you are also able to go into deeper depths of understanding the more complicated side of blockchain. And so, number one, decentralization. Blockchain means it is breaking out of that centralized network, which can be pictured on the left, and then the decentralized is on the right. And so what that means is, in a centralized network, is that central node contains all the information, all the data that we want to get from. And so if that goes down for any reason, if that data is hacked and changed, that one copy is lost forever. Where in a decentralized network, all that data is placed inside of all these different nodes, and so even if one or two or three go down, there are still plenty of nodes in the network that contain all the data that we want to get our hands on. And so even if one of those nodes is even that data is changed or hacked into, it won't matter because the rest of the nodes have the backup information for that. So there's that. That is pillar number one. Pillar number two is transparency, I'm sorry. And so transparency for blockchain is a interesting subject because some say that blockchain provides security while others are saying transparency. And so both are. Security is that people are saying that because names aren't used, so you won't see Bob bought X of something from James, but you'll see that instead of names, there are public addresses that are assigned through a complex cryptography algorithm. And so the transparency side of that is that every transaction done through blockchain is recorded in the public ledger that was talked about earlier. And so you can go back and look through those public addresses of people, of corporations, of different businesses, and be able to see everything that they have purchased or sold through their public address. Immutability is how blockchain keeps its data safe and secure. And so blockchain is a large linked list with a couple of different features. One is that it uses this hash table to hash its data into code. And so as you can see in the image, input high equals this huge long hash code number, and even the longer input, welcome to Blockheads, glad you have glad to have you here, is the same length hash code as the shorter input, which is all due to the algorithm of the hash table. And so what this allows us to do, instead of storing that data separately, it's all able to be stored inside of a hash table, which in terms of the linked list that the blockchain is that instead of the pointers only having the address of the next and previous block, is that it also contains the hash code for its previous and next blocks, which means if even if one block is changed, that that hash code is changed, that data is not lost, because say block 3 was changed, block 2 and block 4 have that same data that was in block 3 stored in it. So it contains impervious to being changed. In summary, blockchain started with Bitcoin and has since been scaled up and modified to be used in different practices and different platforms around the world and in different places of business. And the 3 pillars that we just went through are the entire reason that blockchain is able to be scaled up and used in so many different ways now. And these are my references where I got all my data from. So thank you guys. Have a good day.